In the third year after I dropped out of school to support my boyfriend Ethan Carter, he finally took me to meet his close group of buddies. Everyone warmly called me sis-in-law, except for the group's favorite girl buddy, who sat quietly in the corner. During a drinking game, someone teased her about her flat chest, saying she looked like a runway. I was about to defend her when Ethan, who's usually serious, laughed and said, "Yeah, it's pretty flat. You could use it as a blindfold for me." The girl pouted playfully, pulled her shirt over Ethan's face, and teased, "Ever seen a blindfold this big?" Then she looked at me with a smirk and said, "Not bigger than your yellow-faced girlfriends, right?" My face fell, and I demanded an apology. She looked at Ethan for support, saying, "It was just a joke. Can't your girlfriend take a little fun?" Ethan made her apologize, but then he added, "Honestly, hers are bigger than yours. And yeah, your skin does look a bit dull." The girl, Lily Evans, laughed first, and the others joined in. When she saw my uncomfortable expression, she blinked innocently and said, "We didn't mean anything." Ethan was just too blunt. I felt ashamed and angry, unable to stay calm. Ethan leaned in and whispered, "I was just being honest. You know I'm straightforward, don't be mad." Even though I hadn't drunk anything, I felt dizzy, and my eyes stung. But Ethan didn't notice. He spun the bottle, and it pointed to Lily. Jason Miller, a loud friend, read her card aloud. "Give any guy here a hickey." Lily blushed and said, "No way. I've never even had a boyfriend. I don't know how to do that." Her eyes kept glancing at Ethan. The guys teased her, saying, "Practice now for when you get a boyfriend." Lily pretended to hesitate, then pointed at Jason, who panicked and said, "No way. My wife will divorce me if you give me a hickey." Suddenly, Ethan grabbed Lily's wrist and said, "Pick me," with a possessive tone he didn't seem to notice. Lily hesitated, looking at me, and said, "I don't think that's okay." Ethan turned to me and said, "Jason's wife is strict, and the other guy's girlfriends aren't here. If they go home with hickeys, it'll cause problems. You don't want my friends fighting with their girlfriends, do you?" Lily smiled at me and said, "It's just a game, sis-in-law. You're not that sensitive, right?" Then she climbed onto Ethan's lap, wrapped her arms around his neck, and kissed his neck, leaving a bright red hickey. When she finished, Lily stayed on his lap, acting like she forgot to get up. She bragged to the group, "Pretty good, right? I'm a natural." Ethan smiled at her, holding her waist like he was worried she'd fall. My heart hurt like it was being stabbed repeatedly. In bed, Ethan was always distant and strict. Even when we were close, he'd warn me not to leave marks on him. He once said, "I'm a student. How would it look if I showed up at school with marks?" But now, he let Lily break that rule, right in front of me. I couldn't hold back my tears. "I'm going to the restroom," I mumbled and walked out, ignoring their reactions. Behind me, I heard Lily whisper, "Ethan, is your girlfriend jealous?" Then she sighed dramatically. "Women are so much trouble. I won't hang out with you guys anymore." Ethan sounded annoyed. "Keep playing. I'll check on her." 10 minutes later, I calmed down in the restroom. Ethan was waiting outside. Seeing my red eyes, he sighed and handed me a big box. "Your birthday gift. Stop crying," he explained. "I saw this in your online cart, but you didn't buy it. I used my scholarship money to get it for you." It was a La Mer set worth nearly $1,000. He pinched my cheek and said jokingly, "My little yellow-faced girl, use this to become a swan. I'll be eating instant noodles for 2 months because of this." He used to call me his princess and say my skin was fair like Snow White. Now he called me yellow-faced, and it felt like there was a hint of scorn. I felt bitter inside. Then I noticed the package had been opened. The smallest, most expensive serum was missing. Ethan shrugged and said, "Lily probably took it. She wanted to see it. I thought she was just looking." He laughed, watching my reaction. "It's just a tiny bottle. You're not mad about her taking it, are you?" I said flatly, "If she likes it, she can keep it." Ethan's smile faded. He rubbed his head, annoyed. "Emma, if you're upset, just say it. Don't act passive-aggressive." I wanted to say I wasn't mad, but after he let Lily give him a hickey, something in me felt numb. Before I could speak, Ethan snapped, "Grad school is exhausting. I don't want to come home and guess if you're angry. We came out to have fun, but you've been sulking all night. You're making this hard for me." He looked at me for a few seconds, then softened. "I know I owe you a lot. I shouldn't have yelled. My fault. Don't be mad, okay?" I didn't know what to say. For 3 years, every time we argued, Ethan would apologize, reminding me I dropped out to support him, acting humble to make peace. I used to think that showed he cared. Now it felt empty. Do you still love me? I asked. If he loved me, he wouldn't keep mentioning what I did for him. Ethan looked confused, then quickly said, "Don't be silly. Of course I love you." He pushed the gift box back into my hands and leaned in to kiss me. "If you don't like this birthday gift, I'll get you something else," Ethan said. I stared at him, my face blank. "I don't need it." Suddenly, Lily appeared and shoved the missing serum into my hands. "It's just a sample. Why make a big deal out of it?" Ethan stayed quiet, not stopping her. It was clear he thought I was overreacting too. His friends gave me disapproving looks, clearly on Lily's side. I put the skincare set back in Ethan's hands. "This isn't about the gift." Lily grabbed my arm, acting shocked. "Sis-in-law, you're not fighting with Ethan because of me, are you?" Ryan, one of the friends, tapped her head. "Stop acting so wild. No way she's jealous of you." Another girl might have laughed it off, but I looked straight at Lily and said slowly, "Then stop doing it on purpose. Even if you're carefree, you should have some boundaries. Respect yourself." From the moment Ethan introduced me to his friends, Lily, their so-called little sister, had been subtly rude to me. I could ignore her behavior in private because Ethan didn't stop her. But now, in front of everyone, I wasn't going to stay quiet. Ethan frowned and interrupted. "Emma, that's too harsh. You're all girls here." Lily's eyes filled with tears. Suddenly, she hugged Ethan's neck and kissed him right in front of me. Ethan froze, shocked. Then she bit his lip, turned to me and snapped, "This is what crossing boundaries looks like." Ethan pushed her away, his face darkening. "Lily Evans." Looking hurt, Lily said, "Your girlfriend accused me of something I didn't do. If I'm going to be blamed, I might as well make it true. Her act might have fooled someone else, but all I wanted was for her to stay away." Ethan grabbed my wrist, angry. "Apologize." I couldn't believe it. What did I do wrong? He looked at me and said, "Do I have to say it? You're letting jealousy control you. That's why you're attacking her." I was speechless, unable to argue. Before I could respond, Lily lifted her chin, still teary but smug. "I don't want her apology. Just keep her away from our hangouts. That'll save us all the trouble." Her words made it clear. I was the problem, not her. Ethan, usually so smart and charming, didn't see it. He just sighed and said, "You're too kind, Lily. You've already forgiven her, but won't admit it." "Fine. I won't bring her to our meetups anymore." Lily pouted and playfully hit his chest. "You're my guy. I can't let you stay single forever, can I?" My chest ached heavily. With one sentence, Lily had pushed me out of Ethan's world. Bitterness filled my throat, and my eyes blurred with tears. Nothing lasts forever. Ethan and I grew up together in a foster home, relying on each other. After the SATs, the foster home closed down. Knowing Ethan had big dreams, I dropped out of school to support him through college. In the summer, I worked long hours at a diner, pushing through heat stroke without a break. In the winter, I took multiple jobs washing heavy coats in freezing water. My hands cracked and bled from frostbite, but I wore gloves and kept going. Ethan, who never cried, sobbed when he saw my damaged hands. He promised to give me a good life and love me forever. He said he'd introduce me to all his friends and show the world he had a kind, beautiful girlfriend. To prove it, he set our photo as his Facebook cover and wore my hair tie on his wrist. But one day, the hair tie was gone. When I asked over dinner, Ethan said casually, "Lily said wearing your girlfriend's hair tie looks too emotional, so I took it off. You can keep it now." His Facebook cover had changed too, without me noticing. It was now a group photo from a mountain hike with his friends, with Lily front and center in a pink jacket. When I asked, he shrugged. Everyone else changed theirs. I didn't want to stand out. He always had an excuse. I wanted to ask what his excuse was this time for letting Lily push me out of his circle. But watching him laugh and mess around with her, I lost the desire to ask. It didn't matter anymore. From the moment Ethan said he owed me, our relationship was never equal. My phone buzzed. It was my diner boss, demanding I take an extra shift. Ethan glanced at the message and looked away. To make sure Ethan was comfortable at school, I worked 2 jobs every month. Even when I was too tired to move, I kept going. But now, the exhaustion felt heavier than ever. Without thinking, I typed out my resignation. My boss replied quickly, cursing me. "If you won't work, plenty of others will. Who do you think you are, refusing a shift? You got 30 minutes to clear out your stuff. As I turned to leave, one of Ethan's friends offered to walk me back. But Ethan waved it off. It's just her boss. You guys came to hang out with me. I can't just leave. Lily grinned and bumped his shoulder. You're such a good friend. No wonder your dad likes you. Remember when you got drunk and Ethan quickly covered her mouth. Lily slyly licked his hand, and his face turned red. He pulled his hand back, glancing at me. Seeing my back turned, he sighed in relief, thinking I hadn't noticed. But I saw it all in the glass reflection. At the diner, my things were already thrown out on the ground. My boss sneered, "Get lost. You're an eyesore." He tossed me a small stack of bills, maybe $200, when he owed me at least $500. Because I'd always been quiet and agreeable, he thought he could walk all over me. But then I snapped. I collapsed on the floor, grabbed a customer who had just walked in, and cried loudly. I told them everything, not just about the unpaid wages, but how the kitchen used spoiled meat and bad poultry. To stop customers from running to the bathroom, the diner boss had secretly put anti-diarrheal pills in the tea. But the angry customers flipped tables and stormed the kitchen. The police got involved, and I finally got all my owed wages. The boss, who had bullied me for so long, was punished. As I held the cash, Ethan messaged me. Tuition, $8,000. Still unpaid this semester. That was it. Before, I would have rushed to send him the money, worried he'd be embarrassed at school. But then I checked his Facebook. At the top was a photo of him hiking with Lily and their friends. Scrolling down, I saw posts of bars, parties, and fun trips. No one would guess he was an orphan supported by a girlfriend who gave up school for him. A new post appeared. In a video, I heard Lily's voice. Wow. A Bulgari bracelet, over $10,000. Ethan, you spent your whole scholarship on my birthday gift. What about tuition? Ethan replied casually, she'll cover it. It was clear who she was. The post disappeared quickly, followed by a cautious message from Ethan. Were you on Facebook just now? I replied calmly, yeah. Then I added, let's break up. I turned off my phone, gripping the $8,000 tightly. It was ridiculous. I had cried and fought to get my wages, while Ethan spent 10 times that on Lily's birthday without a second thought. Looking at his polished Facebook profile, you'd think he came from a rich family. My profile had just one post left, a memory from 4 years ago, right after high school, when we lived in a tiny rental. That summer, Ethan worked as a delivery driver. He left early and came home late. One evening, he returned early with a bag of fried chicken, the sauce spilled. His eyes were red, but he smiled and said, "Tata, dinner tonight." I knew a customer had rejected the order because of a spill. He was probably scolded, maybe humiliated, to come home so early. My heart hurt, and I hugged him tightly, snapping a photo of our shadows on the wall. It reminded me to keep working hard so he could finish college. Now, I deleted that photo quietly. More messages from Ethan came. You saw my Facebook? When I broke my leg, Lily paid the hospital bills. I'm just paying her back. But I had already repaid Lily's $1,500 long ago. I thought of the La Mer set, opened with the most expensive part missing. My heart sank deeper. Before I could reply, Ethan sent more messages, angry and defensive. That scholarship money was for my math competition. Why do I need your permission to spend it? Honestly, you're just jealous of Lily, competing with her. Look at her, Hermes, Dior, all luxury brands. If I don't give her something expensive, how can I fit in? College is like a small society. Networking matters, and I'm doing it for you. If you hadn't pressured me, I wouldn't have tried to fit in with these rich kids. It felt like he'd been holding in every complaint and let them all out now. Staring at his flood of messages, I couldn't say a word. He'd told me he hadn't won any scholarship money. When he gave me the La Mer set, I wondered if he'd gone back to delivery to afford it. I gave him a chance to explain, but he didn't. My heart sank, and I questioned what all my sacrifices were for. My hands shook around the cash, tears falling. I laughed and cried at the same time. When Ethan finally messaged, I went too far. Let's calm down. I deleted and blocked him. I sent my other boss a resignation, relieved when he confirmed my remaining wages would be paid next month. Years ago, I gave up college for Ethan. I even moved to his college town to avoid a long-distance relationship. But I couldn't understand the local slang or get used to the food. Meanwhile, Ethan, from the same place as me, fit in perfectly, joking he was born for the city. I quietly booked a ticket back to our old foster home. Even though it was gone, I wanted to return. That small, broken town was my real home. As for Ethan, I didn't care anymore. He was an adult. He could handle himself, maybe get a student loan. I was done. The weight I'd carried for years lifted. I was a few months younger than Ethan, a year younger than Lily. But their mocking words at the table, calling me a yellow-faced old woman, still hurt. What girl doesn't want to feel pretty? I was only in my early 20s. Back at the rental, the lights were on, and the door was slightly open. Voices inside made my blood run cold. Is this okay? Lily's voice was flirty. Ethan's reply was low and warm. Baby. Lily snapped. Don't call me baby. Your girlfriend will get jealous. I'm just helping you out of loyalty. Ethan laughed softly. Would you help Ryan like this too? Lily's voice trembled. You know the answer. For the first time, Ethan saw Lily vulnerable. Fueled by alcohol, he pulled her into his arms. She didn't push him away. Instead, she wrapped her arms around his neck. Then she asked, Do you love her? I was about to leave, but her question, the one I'd avoided, made me stop. Ethan hesitated, confused. Maybe not anymore. I don't know when it started, but being with her makes me anxious. I'm always scared she'll bring up how she dropped out and worked for me. Even though she doesn't, the pressure's there. When she comes home crying about her job, it annoys me. Why bring that negativity? It's not my fault. Lily glanced at the half-open door, smirking. You stopped loving her a long time ago. You just pity her out of guilt. Otherwise, you'd have ended it already. She's smart too. She knew you had potential. That's why she invested in you. Otherwise, why not just help some random beggar? Lily's twisted words completely changed Ethan's thinking. He looked at her like a heavy load had been removed. So that's it. No wonder she always pushed me to study. Even when we had no food, she paid for my language classes. It was all just an investment. I was too tired to fight anymore. Even seeing them made me feel sick. Their moans grew louder behind me. I walked away step by step, stopping only when their voices faded. The night wind stung my wet cheeks. When I touched my face, I realized it was covered in tears. I sank to the ground, hugging my head, and cried until my chest ached. No one saw me, only the quiet night. When the tears stopped, I wiped my face and decided to forget all the ugly, cruel things that happened. For the first time, I didn't worry about money. I booked a nice hotel room. Through the big windows, I looked down at the whole city. After a long, hot shower, I fell into bed and slept deeply. The next morning, while checking my train ticket, I saw Ethan's friend request. His first message, I'm sorry. I smiled bitterly. Was he sorry for the harsh truths he said last night? Or for cheating while drunk? I didn't care to know. I left for my next destination. The foster home, full of memories, had been torn down and replaced by tall buildings. Just like how shiny Lily had replaced me in Ethan's life. But now, I felt no sadness, only relief. If sand slips through your fingers, it's better to let it go. With my remaining money, I signed up for a prep class to restart the studies I gave up 3 years ago. That morning, Ethan woke up to find Lily next to him. He jumped and pushed her away instinctively. Lily rubbed her eyes and snuggled back into his chest. Let's sleep more. You kept me up so late, I'm tired. Ethan froze, remembering last night. In panic, he looked around the room, but I wasn't there. Did I not come home? The idea seemed impossible. For 3 years, I always came straight back to our small rental after work. To save money, I never stayed in hotels. His lips shook. When he saw the door slightly open, his blood ran cold. The worst thought hit him. He shoved Lily away. Go home. Lily blinked, still sleepy, but woke up fully at his words. She slapped his cheek. But Ethan repeated, leave. If my girlfriend comes back and sees you, she'll be upset. Before, he had only flirted with Lily, staying close to the line. But this time, he had crossed it. Guilt and shame ate at him. Seeing him try to escape, Lily cried in anger. Ethan, are you even a man? I gave you my first time, and now you're kicking me out? You said you didn't love her. If you don't, why care if she sees us? Ethan couldn't answer. He grabbed his shirt, his face cold, and threw it at her. You insisted on coming here. You pushed your way in and made the first move. You better hope my girlfriend didn't see anything last night, because if she did, we're done. Not even friends. Lily stared, shocked. How could the man who held her so gently hours ago turn so cold now? Ethan grabbed his phone to text me, but got a red error. That's when he saw I had deleted him. His hands shook as he sent another friend request with, "I'm sorry." But no reply came. Seeing him message me, Lily lost it. Her held-back anger exploded. She grabbed his phone and smashed it on the ground. Ethan's eyes burned with rage. He slapped her face. "You dare break the phone she bought me?" Lily scratched his face in fury. "You took my first time. You have to take responsibility." With scratches and blood on his face, Ethan growled, "Don't act like I'm stupid. You were already used by Ryan Cooper and dumped. You always push into our group of guys, acting irresistible. Please, you're only there because you're easy." Lily's face twisted in anger. "Say that again." Ethan pushed her back, disgusted. "Why not? Ryan bragged about you in the group chat. Everyone knows. You're trash. I never touched you before because you're dirty." Lily, who prided herself on being one of the boys, never thought she'd be shamed like this. She screamed, "You have a girlfriend, but you flirted with me. You didn't stop me when I kissed you or helped you. Now you act innocent." Her voice shook with fury. "Here's the truth. Your girlfriend was right outside last night. She saw everything. She heard you say you don't love her anymore." The two, who once promised to be friends forever, now attacked each other. Ethan didn't care about her feelings anymore. He said cruelly, "Ryan dumped you because he was bored. He never got married. He's still sleeping around with everyone but you." He looked at her with disgust. "Sleeping with you means I should get tested for diseases. You're gross." He pushed her aside, dressed fast, and headed for the door. Lily blocked him. "You're not going to her. She doesn't want you anymore." Ethan was the best-looking and top student in the group. The others had money, but Ethan was scouted by a gaming company. With graduation close, he had a $200,000 contract, and more ahead. Lily realized this quickly and changed her approach. With tears, she begged, "I was crazy earlier. I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. It's my fault." Ethan didn't get why she switched so fast, but he still pushed her away in disgust. But like glue, Lily clung to him, her hands moving lower. "I'm sorry, okay? Forgive me." Her lips pressed against his, trying to pull him back. Ethan frowned hard, but didn't push her away. Lily whispered sweetly. She left without saying anything. "She's really mad. Give her time. You can apologize later. It won't be too late." Women act on impulse when angry. Just like me, I love you so much, but I still snapped earlier. Lily clung to him, her voice full of seduction. But Ethan, full of anger, shoved her roughly onto the bed. "This is all your fault. She's mad because of you." They tangled again, their bare bodies gross to see. I thought they had left. I even asked a delivery guy to use the spare key under the mat to get my ID and things. But when I checked the surveillance video, I saw those two awful people in my apartment. This was the place I paid rent for. How dare Ethan bring Lily there? Seeing my carefully grown roses knocked over, anger boiled in me. I called the landlord right away. "Someone broke into my rental. Can you check? Please handle cleaning after I end the lease. Mail me my ID. Throw out everything else. Keep the $200 deposit as a fee." Luckily, Ethan hated the small apartment and rarely came. So when the landlord went in with a spare key and police, they didn't know him. Even when he said he was my boyfriend, the police didn't listen because they caught him and Lily in bed. In the end, they paid a fine and signed a promise before the school advisor took them away. The advisor was shocked and almost fainted, but still pulled them back. Ethan's face burned with shame. After this mess, he could forget scholarships or honors. Even though the advisor tried to keep it quiet, rumors spread fast on campus. Humiliated, Lily had to ask for a leave from school. But as soon as she submitted the form, a group of angry girlfriends cornered her, pulling her hair. "That's the slut from my boyfriend's Facebook hiking photo." "Yeah, that's her." "Girl bro? More like homewrecker. You sneaky bitch, I'll kill you." Just as the new semester started, Ethan's life fell apart. Worse, he had no money for tuition. He asked his old friends for help, but they had all deleted him. Some even posted that they hardly knew him. With no choices, Ethan went to Lily, begging her to return the Bulgari bracelet. But when he got there, he saw her being beaten by the others. She cried for his help. He tried to run, but the women thought he was saving her, and beat him too. Years later, after getting my master's and PhD abroad, I came back home. At a restaurant, I saw a familiar, broken man. He limped while carrying plates, his face full of despair. Regular customers whispered to me, "Don't be fooled by his looks, he's trash. He got kicked out of school after sleeping with the wrong woman. He says someone stole his patent. Now he scams young girls. He's married to some Lily. She gambles away their money and causes scenes here, catching him flirting with waitresses. It's sad." When I heard Lily's name, I knew it was Ethan. And surprisingly, they had married. The customer looked sorry for gossiping so much. I just smiled lightly, paid for his meal too, and left. Outside, I took a deep breath of relief. Leaving back then was the right choice. A dog doesn't change its ways. Even if I forgave Ethan, he would cheat again. It's better to invest in myself than in a man. Because the only one who won't betray me is me.